This is Jim, and we're about to shoot episode 4 of Jim's Kitchen, Jalapeno Poppers. This particular video is going to have an additional segment that doesn't occur in the rest of my videos. It's a safety brief. And the subject is going to be oleoresin capsicum. It is an oil, and it's naturally occurring in jalapeno and other hot peppers. So it's very easy to irritate yourself with it. It's the oil that they extract when they're going to make pepper spray or riot control spray or mace. And if you get it, especially your hands, not so much, but especially on your face or in your eyes, your mucous membranes, it can be very irritating. The good news is it will not kill you. Now, I don't want to be coming off as a medical expert, so I want to put in this caveat. If you are fair-skinned or sensitive, maybe you shouldn't do this particular recipe. But most of you will be just fine. Oil and water don't mix, that's true, but I need to give you a caution. Oleoresin capsicum is activated by water. So, if you get it on your face or someplace where it's starting to burn, understand that water by itself will only activate the oleoresin capsicum. Now, while you've got the affected area in a water flow, it's not going to hurt. Cool water is going to solve that problem. The moment you take the affected part out of the water flow, you will have activated oleoresin capsicum on the affected area, and it's going to burn. So, if you irritate a part of your body, I'm going to suggest you immediately deal with it. It's not a very involved procedure. It's easy to prepare for, easy to do. That's what's next. Safety brief. Have available your sink, empty, clean, and available to you. Have dish soap. Common thing with dishes is in cooking you use oils, there's meat greases, there's all sorts of oil-based components, and dish soap naturally emulsifies or dissolves or breaks up oils. So bar soap's not going to cut it. You notice I've got a little tray with some bar soap over here. Don't waste your time. When you're dealing with oleoresin capsicum, use shampoo use dish soap or shampoo. I'm going to show you a procedure here at the kitchen sink, and you're going to do it twice, and then you're going to remove your face from the water stream. You're going to give it a moment, because as soon as you pull your face out of the water stream, it's going to feel like it's burning a lot. Give it a moment. If you've done the cleaning well, and it has been effective, after a moment the burning sensation will go away, and you can figure out whether or not you're fine to continue making your jalapeno poppers. If not, you've got a couple options. Do it a third time, or cut and go to the shower. Either way, if you've got to go to the shower, go to the shower. Turn the water on as cold as you can and get in. The moment you put the affected area in the water stream, the pain is going to go away. So this is nothing to be afraid of, but it is something to be prepared for. Once you're in the shower or back at the sink, use your shampoo or your dish soap. Put it on your hands, smear it around, get them wet, just a little bit, just run your hands through the water, then put the affected area, I'm assuming it's going to be your face, in the water stream. So you've got cold water going, put the soap on your hands, put your face in the water, and then gently rub the affected area thoroughly. If COVID's worth 20 seconds, this is worth 30. Then rinse, and rinse all the soap away. Then don't move your soap very far away. Have it handy so you can find it, because you're going to be closing your eyes. A little more soap. Do the affected area again. Thoroughly, gently, but thoroughly. Keep your eyes closed. If you didn't get it in your eyes. And thoroughly rinse, wash, massage the affected area. Rinse again. If after twice you have to do it a third time or go to the shower, that's what you do. It's very simple. Now I said if you didn't get it in your eyes. If you did, do what we just did first, unless it's just affecting your eyes too much. This separate procedure for your eyes, and you're going to determine on the spot whether you need to do this first or second. I suspect you're probably going to want to do it first. Turn the cold water on and put the affected eye in the cold water stream. Now, if you have one of these shower sprayers, that's even better. Use it, get over the sink, and turn on the spray in your eye. Keep your eye open as best you can, and just rinse continuously. I know you don't want to put soap in your eye, shampoo, dishwasher soap, whatever in your eye. I get that. Don't. Run enough water and you will clear the problem. Your eyes are naturally trying to tear anyway. They're going to help. And just rinse. Okay, same thing if you have to go to the shower. Open your eyes, get right in the shower, spray, look right at it, turn it on as cold as you can deal with it, and just run it. But for the rest of your body, skin, ears, whatever, hands, soap, shampoo, or dish soap will help emulsify the oil. That's it. It's a very simple procedure. Now, give me a moment and we will go to what you need and what goes in it. Hello everyone, this is Jim from Jim's Kitchen. We're doing jalapeno poppers and it's time for what you need, the tools to make this happen. You need an oven that works. You need a sink with good running cold water. You need a small straight-edged knife, and by that I mean not serrated. You're going to need a small spoon. You're going to need a cutting board. And as I mentioned in the safety brief, you're going to need a pair of nitrile or nylon or food service or some other kind of non-powdered glove that is thin enough that you can handle food and kitchen tools while wearing the gloves. That gets you through preparing the peppers. Then you're going to need to make the cheese mix. The cheese mix is going to require the use of a bowl. I'm going to recommend one like this with nice rounded corners on the bottom. A bowl like this certainly has the capacity, but you notice the rather more cornered bottoms. That makes it more difficult to mix the cheese. It doesn't need to be. You can use such a bowl, but I'm all about working smarter, not harder. So I'm going to suggest one with the rounded corner. You're going to need a wooden spoon. You're going to need some kind of a spoon to mix it with. I'm going to recommend a long-handled wooden spoon. And I'm going to suggest you consider using a potato masher. This will speed the process. For the details on how to make the cheese sauce, there's another video on this channel, link in the description. So I'm not going to make you sit through how to make the cheese mix in this particular video. Go there and watch it and then come back to this video to finish your cheese poppers, or your jalapeno poppers. You're going to, when it comes time to fill your jalapenos, you're going to need a shallow, wide bowl to put your breadcrumbs in. You're going to need to reuse that small spoon that I showed you earlier. And you're going to want something to bake your jalapenos on. There's a lot of good choices. A flat cookie sheet is one. I'm going to recommend a broiler pan. And it's because of the regular grooves or valleys that your peppers will lay in nicely without rolling and sliding around. I'm also going to recommend that you cover that with tin foil because it's going to make it easier to clean after the peppers are baked. Last, you're going to need something to measure 2 cups of shredded cheese. This is part of your making the cheese mix video. And again, link will be in the description for how to make your cheese filling. All right, what goes in it? You need a couple of pounds of jalapeno peppers. I buy them in the produce aisle loose. Yes, that's more than 2 pounds, but I'm going to make quite a few jalapeno peppers today because I like them. Jalapeno poppers, I'm sorry. You're going to need a soft cheese of some sort. Again, the cheese sauce video goes into a lot more detail about that, but you're going to need 16 ounces. Making sure that I said that right because I have given the wrong amount before. But yeah, you're going to need, if you go with Philadelphia cream cheese like I am using here, you're going to need 2 boxes, which is 16 ounces. And 2 cups of some sort of shredded cheese. You can shred a block of solid cheese. You can buy it in a bag. You're going to need, I'm going to recommend the Zesty Italian by Good Seasonings, the powdered mix, because it will lend a lot of flavor to your cheese mix. Coming soon, there will be another video on this channel about how to make your own seasoning mix, which won't have any salt in it. This has some salt in it. And by now you all know I love to vilify salt. And finally, you're going to need some breadcrumbs. A cup to a cup and a half of breadcrumbs is going to be sufficient. All right, in a moment, I'm going to move over to the sink and we will do a brief on preparing the peppers. See you there. Hello, everyone. This is the pepper prep portion of how to make jalapeno poppers. I'm going to recommend you set yourself up for success here. Have your sink clear, and then have your assembly line all set up. Forgive me, I'm going to disappear off camera for just a second because I didn't do that. Now we're set up for success. So I've got my jalapeno peppers on one end of the line, my cutting surface next to it, the open sink. If you've got a pan in your sink that has a garbage grinder in it, leave that one open and uncovered. Don't run the water. And then have something to put the prepped peppers in. So you're moving from right to left consistently. Make a nice smooth assembly line of it. Now again, you don't have the water running. Break out your peppers. Our local store has nice big jalapeno peppers. So here's the deal. You're going to do this you're going to do all of the peppers once, cutting the ends off and cutting them in half. Then you're going to do them all de-seeding them. But I'm going to show you, for the sake of time, rather than make you watch me watch the whole process or do the whole process, I'm just going to do this with a couple of peppers and then leave you to it. Now you'll remember when I told you to cut vegetables before, to lay them down and let them stop rolling and then do your cutting from there. Well, no. Jalapeno peppers tend to have a curvature to them. And if you do that, it's going to lay on its side. And if you try to cut them lengthwise in half, you won't be able to fill them with cheese and have them lay nicely on your cooking pan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest that you find the curvature of your pepper and lay it with the belly down on the cutting board. Bob the stem off, flick that into the sink, and then cut the pepper in half lengthwise. Now you have, and I'm going to come a little closer to the camera, 2 halves, so that when you fill them with cheese and lay them on your broiling pan, they're going to lay down nicely like that. Okay? So you're going to go through, you're going to cut all your peppers, bob off the stem, find the belly of the pepper, put it down, cut the pepper in half lengthwise, and you're going to go through all of your peppers like that. Now, I promised you I wouldn't make you watch me do all of them. You're going to take your peppers out of the bowl, start them again in the assembly line once you've got all the ends bobbed off and got them all split in half. You're going to come back, take your small spoon. Do this with 1 or 2 peppers, you'll see why I said a small spoon. A tablespoon's just too big. Use your spoon and clear the innards out of all of your peppers, all of the seeds, etc. Over the sink. You still do not have the water running. So do this with all of your peppers, get them all de-seeded. And when you get done with that, you'll be ready to go make your cheese sauce. Because before you start on the peppers, you need to have your cheese sitting out, thawing, coming to room temperature, especially your soft cheese. If you're going to use a harder cheese, shredded to mix into it, that doesn't necessarily have to be out right now. But certainly the soft cheese that you're going to use for your base needs to be out now, softening. So then you go through, you clean up all your peppers like I just showed you, and we will see you over at, well, you're going to follow a different video to make your cheese sauce, cheese filling. Once you've got your peppers clean and your cheese filling made, we'll see you over at the prep table to fill the peppers. Bye-bye. Hello again, everybody. All right, the peppers are cleaned and all of the seeds have been removed. I have my cheese blend ready to go. I have my shallow, wide bowl and my about a cup maybe of breadcrumbs to start with. And we're going to start loading jalapeno poppers. I've got my broiler pans lined with tin foil, aluminum foil, whatever you want to call them. Doesn't matter. Call it what you want, but line them because they're easier to clean. And we're going to get right to the chase. Let me point the camera down a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to recommend that you load the jalapeno poppers over your cheese mix because, well, loading jalapeno poppers is not necessarily the tidiest operation, and if you drop some, you haven't hurt anything. So you're going to take cheese mix, with your small spoon. It's going to work better with a small spoon. It's going to work better with a spoon than with anything else. Load your jalapeno poppers. You'll notice I've shucked off the gloves. At this point, we're pretty much past getting maced. If you have sensitive skin, go ahead and keep the gloves on. But the risk of getting maced is pretty much done here. Okay, so you've watched me load a jalapeno. Now I'm going to dip the end straight down into the breadcrumbs, and then so I made sure I covered all of the cheese from the jalapeno. So this brings up the question, what about the pepper, Jim? You didn't cover that. Let's talk about that for just a moment. If you want, you can use egg. Take a couple of eggs, take another bowl, and beat the eggs up really good in it. You're not gonna, once you load the jalapeno popper full of cheese, you'll take it and then dip it in your bowl of beaten egg. Let it drain. You don't need a lot of egg sticking to this thing. You want just enough to make the breadcrumbs stick. And in that way, after you load the cheese, okay, because if you put the egg on it before you try to put the cheese in it, you'll never get the cheese to stay in. So you fill it full of cheese, then you dip it in the egg, drain it really good. Now the breadcrumbs will stick all over it. My wife and I like them like this, so I'm going to load them all this way. That's it. I'm not going to make you watch me load all of the jalapeno peppers. Just go through and load them all full of cheese. You'll notice that I slicked it down right to the top and bobbed it off at the end. I'm sorry, right to the top and bobbed it off down at the end of the pepper. I didn't put a whole lot of cheese sauce in it. I just filled it up and no more. And go ahead and do that, and we will be back when it's time to put them in the oven. See ya. Okay, everybody, there you see them. They're breaded. They're ready to go in the oven. From here on out, it's fairly simple. You're going to set your oven for 425. You're going to have that, when that gets hot, you're going to load your jalapeno poppers into the oven for about 10 or 12 minutes. Then you're going to turn on the broiler. Hopefully you have a broiler in your oven. You won't have to move your jalapenos. Let your broiler run for about 1 minute. If you've got two pans like we do, you're going to have to switch them around. But the pan needs to be on top for about a minute. And if you've got two pans, swap them so the other pan's on top for about a minute, and they'll be done. So 10 to 12 minutes total for your oven time. We'll see you when the jalapenos come out. Bye-bye. Hello again, everybody. All right, it has been the 10 minutes, and I have set my broiler on its high setting. I happen to have a 2-setting broiler, and it is now time to change the trays around. Well, actually, no. We're going to leave the top tray to broil for a minute, and then I'm going to switch them around. We'll be back in about a minute to do that. Bye-bye. Okay, it's been about a minute, and it's time to check on the... Yes, they're nice and toasty on the top, if you can see through all that steam. So we're going to pull the top one out of the way, nice and toasty. And we're going to put the bottom one on top to let it get nice and toasty for about a minute. I don't think those need to go back in. So you get the idea. Let that second tray set right under the broiler for about a minute. Pull them out. I would recommend putting on top of the stove, just as I did. And the reason is, you're not gonna hurt the stove top. So put the jalapenos on top of the stove to cool, and when they're cool, enjoy. We'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.